In 2021, I did something that I thought I would never do in my long distance hiking career, which was through hike the Continental Divide Trail. For years leading up to my 4-month, 3,000 plus mile hike at the CDT, I declared that I wasn't sure if I was ever going to hike it. My heart wasn't in it. I didn't get excited about that trail like I had with some other trails, and I didn't just want to hike it to say I had hiked it. The whole title of getting a Triple Crown didn't really mean anything to me at that point. Well, at the beginning of 2021, I was starting to feel a little bit burnt out on long distance hiking, on doing these 4 to 6 month long odysseys, going from border to border through multiple states. And I decided to use the CDT to test that theory, to see if I was ready to move on. Well, to not bury the lead here, the CDT inevitably led me to getting burnout on long distance hiking. It made me take a massive break from this YouTube channel that honestly I wasn't sure if I was ever going to come back to. It humbled me, it made me rethink life yet again, and it ruined my life for the better one more time. So if you guys remember back in 2017, if you've been following here on the channel for that far back, you might remember a video that I made called How the AT Ruined My Life. That video was meant to be tongue-in-cheek, and it ended up kind of setting the stage for what this channel would become and how I would do my videos, the topics I would actually talk about in my videos. If you watch that video, you'll know that what I was really talking about was how going to do something like hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2015 completely changed not only my life, but my wife's life as well. It gave us a new perspective on life. It challenged us in ways we'd never been challenged. It made us slow down and realize what was important in life. It restored my faith in humanity and really connected me with a community that I would end up being a huge part of for about 8 years. You see, when we got done with the AT in 2015, I obsessed about it. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to make videos about it. I wanted to live it. Even though I was super far away from the trail, I still wanted to be connected to it. And that led to me being bored and starting this YouTube channel. About a year or 2 years later, for some reason, this channel blew up and changed my life again, leading to this crazy ride that I've been on for the last 8 years of being the person who you guys came to know as Darwin, the long distance hiker, the gear reviewer, the guy who moves his eyebrows real weird in his hands when he talks about hiking. It became my identity. It became my life. Not only my hobby and my passion, but my career, where I was constantly making YouTube videos and doing long distance hikes and all of this stuff. When I did the PCT, it allowed me to rethink things and think about how I was using my platform. It made me start my company Outdoor Evolution, which led to a podcast. It led to me doing documentary films and working with nonprofit associations like the Arizona Trail Association, public land agencies to give back and raise money. And when I did the CDT, it gave me another gift. You see, when I got done with the CDT, the last thing I wanted to do was think about the trail, about hiking, about gear, about YouTube videos. I've alluded to it in the past, but when I went out to do the CDT in 2021, I was not in a good mental space. Now, I've talked about this a little bit here on the channel, and I've talked about it in depth over on my podcast, The Outdoor Evolution. At the beginning of 2021, I was dealing with a bit of an identity crisis to who I was. You see, in those 7 or 8 years, I'd become so wrapped up in being Darwin, the person who was presented on YouTube and on trails. Through hiking had become my entire identity. Long distance hiking and travel, my entire identity. I lived out of a van full time. I made, at one time, 3 YouTube videos a week. I was constantly on these long distance hikes and then smaller hikes. I lived my passion constantly to kind of an unhealthy point. Now, don't get me wrong. It's been an amazing journey and I love doing it, but it was starting to cause problems in my personal life. I was neglecting friends and family, friends that I had known for years and had a strong connection with. And the most important thing, I was neglecting my wife. You see, when I got into this, my wife and I did this together. We went to go hike the AT together. We completely changed our lifestyle together. And all of that started because we loved to get out on backpacking and hiking trips together. And then it totally turned into my identity. At some point, my wife got kind of burnt out on the whole travel and hiking thing, and she wanted to have a regular life again. And I was still obsessed with being Darwin. So when I got off the CDT, I was ready to be done with it for a while. I was ready to mend some of these things that I had sort of broken over 7 years of becoming so wrapped up and so obsessed with thru hiking and gear and YouTube and all of these things that had taken me away from the original roots of what the passion was all about. And that was hiking with friends. That was backpacking with my wife. That was just sharing the things that I loved. Long distance hiking had become more about making content. It had become more about using gear and all the crazy things that were going on behind the scenes with me and other gear companies, other people in the YouTube community and hiking community, all of these weird things, stories that one of these days I'll share here on the channel, maybe. But all of these things were happening and I was getting burnt out on it. You see, no matter what you do in life, if you do too much of it, you're going to get burnt out on it. You're going to want to try something different. For a lot of people that watch this channel, backpacking and hiking is an escape from their regular everyday life. You do it because you want to go out and do something new on the weekends or take a week off from work and go hike a section of a trail. Well, when you end up living that lifestyle all the time, that becomes your regular 9 to 5. And eventually you get burnt out on it, just like people get burnt out on their regular jobs. So it took me a long time to figure it out. And now 7 years, I'm able to revisit that video and what that video, how the AT ruined my life, what it really meant, what I was really trying to say in that video. It's why I did the Arizona Trail in October. It's why I'm going to do this section of the Continental Divide Trail next week. It's why I'm going out to hike the PCT next month, because I need to keep moving. I kind of have this desire inside of me that wants to see new things every day and have new experiences, and it's really hard to do that when you're in the same place. And it wasn't that doing something like hiking the Appalachian Trail makes your life better. It's not that it makes your life better by becoming your identity. It humbles you. Doing something like hike of the AT or traveling to a different country, backpacking across Europe, anything that's life-changing like that is all about humbling you. It's about taking you out of your normal 9 to 5. It's taking you out of your comfort zone, and it's giving you a new experience, and it allows you to give a different outlook and put a different perspective to your life and the world around you. And that's what the CDT did. I didn't know it at the time, and for a year after getting off the CDT, I was kind of pissed at it. I hated it. I didn't want to talk about long distance hiking. I didn't finish my CDT videos because I was burnt out. I didn't want to talk about the trail. I didn't want to talk about gear. I didn't want to talk about any of that. I wanted to try new things. Over the last year and a half, because of the CDT, I've been able to step away from it and get back to my roots. Going out on hiking trips and doing trail running with my wife again. Things that started all of this. Getting out on backpacking trips and section hikes with friends. And trying new things. Doing a lot of world travel. Going to different countries to be humbled. Starting a gear company so I can take all that experience and channel it into a new creative field, which is designing my own gear. And getting into new outdoor adventures like mountaineering and snow camping, which I'm really excited about for this winter. So the CDT gave me this amazing gift, and it ruined my life yet again. Where the AT was the bookend at the front that started this new chapter and this new story of my life, the CDT became the bookend at the end, where it's not changing my life and I'm not completely getting away from it, but it did allow me to step back and get a new perspective on it. Now I look at the CDT and I remember how great of an adventure it was. I forget about all the negative things because now I've learned from it, and it's changed my life for the better by humbling me and letting me get back to not just being Nick again, because I have gotten back to being Nick and the other things that I love in life, but it's also allowed me to understand what being Darwin is again, and what backpacking and hiking and getting out there means to me. So for that, I love the CDT, and I can't thank it enough. The amazing gift that it gave me. It gave me perspective. It made me realize what I was doing, what I needed to do, and who I really was. So with that being said, I'm excited to announce that I've decided to pick those videos back up and start editing them again. So over the next handful of months, I will be releasing 4 more CDT videos, picking up exactly where I left off in the winds and taking it all the way to the monument in New Mexico, at the end of New Mexico, at the Mexican border. For all of you that have wanted to see that, I'm excited and I'm inspired to see that stuff yet again. All right, so there you go. I love making these new sit-down videos, kind of exploring a topic, either a new topic or something from the past, like this whole how a long-distance trail can ruin your life for the better. I'm really excited to put out a ton of this new content over the next handful of months. The fall, going into the winter, I'll be releasing those CDT videos, plus a ton of other content, and a lot of videos like this. Like I said, I really, really enjoy this format. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Hopefully you're taking care of yourself. Hopefully you're taking care of each other, and you're getting out of your comfort zone and being humbled by new experiences, and it's ruining your life for the better. I really appreciate you guys sticking around, watching these videos. I love you, and as always, thanks for watching.